Simon O'Connor.
I'm not even sure where to start with that talk. I'm almost tempted not to bother. Look, I will just challenge that particular member. I'm more than happy to double down in my experience in the social and community service with hers any day and actually working and serving. Absolutely, absolutely. So it doesn't matter if it's been homeless shelters or drug addiction, the military, vocational training centres, prisons. Actually, where else could we? Homeless shelters, I think I've mentioned those. Hospitals, just working with the people on the street, particularly around Hopetown Street. Actually, the homeless and community within the likes of Auckland, Brooklyn, New York. We might even mention in Fiji. And so, you know, why I mention all of that actually is because we get constant accusations on this side that we don't care. And even worse, there are the accusations that we don't know what we're talking about. And actually, I take somewhat offence at that, because actually, as someone who has worked hard in this area, I know two things. One is that I actually have experience, and from that experience, including in areas like this, that there's still stuff that I can learn from. I'm not presumptuous enough or arrogant enough to start preaching in this House that we know better. And furthermore, to fall into the sort of fallacious argument that all we have to do is more. Oh, well, you know, it's great that we've got insulation, but then when you had more fluff, it would just make the biggest difference. You know, oh, if we just put more smoke alarms in, or we just spent more money, it'll all fix things. Actually, that's not a core of the, that's not the core of the argument. This is a good bill. It's a step in completely the right direction. It fits perfectly with National Party policies, which is actually balancing the range of needs. You know, having worked in the social sector, if you all of a sudden impose a whole lot of extra costs on landlords, there are going to be consequences for the very people you want to help. So all of a sudden, all this talk about all this other extra stuff we should do will actually do far more harm. But we know, and from my own electorate work where constituents do come in, actually the idea of having insulation, importantly up to New Zealand standards, will make a difference. And one of the great things has already been illustrated by the work that the government has done with state homes. The other is around smoke alarms. I mean, so basic, tragic in a way that we haven't done that already, but it's great that it's now being addressed, makes a lot of sense. And I'm sure we'll hear from other colleagues. You know, 75% of deaths in homes could have been prevented by the use of smoke alarms. So, Mr. Speaker, this is a good bill. It's a proportionate bill. I don't think barbs and insults being hurled across the House that neither side knows what it's talking about is of much help at all. I think this is a bill which should be rightly supported by all sides of the House, and I certainly have heard Labor's going to do so, so kudos that they're doing. I'm interested to hear later on what the other parties are doing, but this is a good bill, it's a responsible bill, and it's just sort of the proportionate thinking which is good for all New Zealanders, and in particular those who are renting. Thanks very much.